But because the chief electoral officer failed to formally announce the figures and declare the winner, the Nigerian people on their own talk about, if you look at the media review, the man who is widely believed to have won the election, because the man who should have announced it failed to do so.
This is one issue I have tried as much as possible to avoid. Yesterday, when my brother, Senator Abaribe, brought this matter up, I took up and said, no, I will not allow this to happen. Because he's about to remind me a very sad memory. And I'm speaking not along party line or ethnic or whatsoever, as I've watched and listened to the contribution thus far. Mr. President, very distinguished colleague, as a result of the action and inaction of Professor Humphrey Nwosu, I lost my immediate junior brother. He died right behind me for him refusing to do or carry out his duty as INEC chairman.
We said that even if it's not done today, that another government will do this. We are still looking forward to the Tinubu government. If you recall, Tinubu was seen and has always been seen as a June 12 warrior. And therefore, all the elements that make up June 12, including the conduct of the election. And like we said, if there was no election, there would have been no June 12. So we can also use this opportunity that we're here addressing you to appeal to the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to honor the man who made sure that that election held, despite that it was done, and put elections in the consciousness of Nigerians, because that election was what led everybody else to now be doing subsequent elections. Thank you.
Now, what these people are trying to say actually is that the fault is that of Professor Humphrey Nwosu. The other man was saying that his brother died as a result of his Professor Nwosu's proposal to announce the winner of that election. And I'm wondering, because as far as I can remember, my uncle, that's my father's immediate elder brother, also died as a result of Biafran war caused by Yakubu Gowon, and as a result of the hunger strike, a lot of things that was caused by Awolowo and also other persons. So if I don't know why we do not want to grow as a country, we are going to watch the full video. Just let me have these things to say, and then you watch the full video of this Senate plenary, and you decide for yourself. You will tell me in the comment section if this country is ready for growth. So guys, I say it every now and then, but it seems people don't seem to understand. The Southeast senators walked out as a protest stand in the Senate chamber because the federal government doesn't want to immortalize Professor Humphrey Nwosu, who was the INEC chairman at the time. That's the electoral body chairman as at the time June 12 election held, that saw the victory of MK Abdullah in the presidential election. And a lot of senators have been criticizing Humphrey Nwosu for being the reason why that Abiola was not declared the winner of that election. Adams Oshiomole, Senator Adams Oshiomole, has thrown his own tantrum. Another senator from Southwest has also done something. Is it Yawa Abi, Senator Yawa, person exactly? And a host of others I've seen on Facebook, on Twitter, on different social media handles, where people are now throwing blames. Sorry to say this, but anytime anything goes wrong in this country, in the country called Nigeria, they will always find a way to blame the Igbo man. Sorry to say this, but that is just the fact. So, Babangida is no longer to be blamed. He's now a saint for not allowing MK Abiola to be declared the winner of June 12th election. It's now Humphrey Nwosu, Professor Humphrey Nwosu, who made the results known that MK Abiola won that election, and who conducted one of the freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria. That was under military regime, that they wanted to transition to civilian regime. And the military government then couldn't allow him to declare the results. But who is to blame now? The person who is to blame is now late Professor Humphrey Nwosu, that conducted free and fair election and made the results known, but was stopped by the military junta from declaring that election, the election results. Now I'm going to play this video. Just watch this video and see what happened in the Senate. Adams Oshiomole, who was one-time Labour leader, talking what, like, I do not understand exactly. Are you serious? These are the people that who were eulogizing and praising IBB, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, during his book launch. Tinubu too, all of them, they were praising IBB. All of them, they were there. They couldn't vilify them, and they couldn't say that you were the cause of the whole thing. Did Babangida even acknowledge Professor Humphrey Nwosu in that book launch? I don't know exactly. I've not read that book. But it is what it is. When anything goes wrong in this country, I'm not trying to be tribalistic, but it's just the reality. When anything goes wrong, they find a way to just blame the Igbo man, put the Igbo man in a tight corner. I have money, but till tomorrow, if I'm to come out again in this life, my Igbo man I be. But truth must be told. I love what the Igbo senators did. What I don't like is what the House of Rep members did, as far when other regions were trying to, bring out different states that should be created in their own region. Our rep members, they were nowhere to be found. Igbo, can we speak up? Can we stop just being timid, trying to make people to like us? It doesn't work. Anybody that wants to like you will like you. Anybody that doesn't want to like you will not like you. No matter what you do, you come back in shame. It is what it is. Just watch this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hilary Ezanoche, and also follow me on social media handle, Hilary Ezanoche. Thank you.
This is one issue I have tried as much as possible to avoid. Yesterday, when my brother, Senator Abaribe, brought this matter up, I took up and said, no, I will not allow this to happen, because he's about to remind me a very sad memory. And I'm speaking not along party line or ethnic or whatsoever, as I've watched and listened to the contribution thus far. Mr. President, very distinguished colleague, as a result of the action and inaction of Professor Humphrey Nwosu, I lost my immediate junior brother. He died right behind me for him refusing to do or carry out his duty as INEC chairman. Mr. President, many of my colleagues have stood up here and said he conducted the free and fairest election. There are three different meanings and three different interpretations that we should look at: conducting election, releasing results, and announcing results. Yes, he conducted the results, the election. Yes, school of thought said he releases all the results. But you and I know releasing results is not the same thing as announcing results. He failed at the critical moment when he's supposed to salvage this democracy. Today we celebrate Abiola, or those people who have contributed to the success story of June 12, because they laid their life, they put their life on the line. If he is coward to withdraw in doing what is right at the critical moment, I think my brothers here should be fair enough. We are not saying you should not bring his matter up. And as my colleague have said, everybody that we have put before us that should be honored, we have celebrated them here. And don't forget This is the highest lawmaking body of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where we should see ourselves as one and one Nigeria. Professor Humphrey Nwosu, with due respect to him, because it's now late, does not deserve to be immortalized as one of the very few Nigerians that have done the right thing. And I want to plead with my colleague. As I've said, I'm not speaking along the ethnicity line, along the party line, but I'm speaking as Nigeria, who witnessed the horrific moment.
Thank you. Once
of the refusal of Professor Humphrey Nwosu to carry out his assignment at the most critical hour.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now let's go to prayers.
I leave my house to come to these chambers. I ask God to guide my thoughts, to give me the will to speak the truth, and to service my conscience. I have listened and I've read through this 2-page motion moved by a man I respect and I will always respect. But when it comes to facts, the written word, it will go into history. I want to be on record as saying the following. Paragraph 3 of this document, this motion, which says, quote, conscious of his courageous defense of the democratic electoral process during the 1993 presidential election that led to the famous June 12 slogan, which ultimately confirmed MKO Abiola as the winner of the election. This is manipulating and wrestling with the truth. June 12 became famous because Nigerians who voted and the elections result already announced, people were at liberty to do their calculation. But because the chief electoral officer failed to formally announce the figures and declare the winner, the Nigerian people on their own talk about, if you look at the media review, the man who is widely believed to have won the election, because the man who should have announced it failed to do so. The second paragraph, or the fourth paragraph, informed that he stood his ground during Nigeria electoral wishes and aspirations were realized, which culminated in June 12 being marked as a 30th Democratic Day due to his unwavering stand as an umpire. Sir, again, this is not correct. President Muhammadu Buhari, to his credit, decided, and may God bless him for that, said what Nigerians already knew, but coming from a city head of state and president that gave it the currency, he said everybody knew that MKO Abiola won June, election that was conducted on June 12th. Nigerians were really in pain because nobody is able to quote where Professor Nwosu announced the results. It is his failure to announce the result, whether other threat or other whatever forces that prevented him from so doing, that Nigerians were unable to say that he was declared the winner. In fact, I was active in that struggle when we met with the late General Sani Abacha. He said the reason he decided to order the detention of MKO Abiola was that MKO Abiola proclaimed himself as the winner of the election and therefore as president. It was on that basis Abiola was arrested and he died in detention. If Professor Nwosu had the courage, I emphasize courage as is being suggested here, to announce the winner and damn the consequences. After all, he who is not ready to die for something will end up dying for nothing. We cannot distort history in this Senate. We must be seen to have sentiments that reflect the average feeling of the average Nigerian. Professor Nwosu, when it mattered most, his courage failed him. And when you give national honors and recognition you do so for people who have shown courage, who have paid the supreme price, or who were ready to pay that price. Lastly, cognizance of the fact that Professor Nwosu laid a landmark foundation, blah, 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 blah. This is the reason it is even more painful that you allegedly have all this courage to conduct elections. I'm on record as saying that Professor Nwosu and President Babangida fooled 18 million Nigerians that voted. Nwosu is not on record before his death as admitting that before I die, let me confess that there was a winner.
You have 1 second. You have 2 seconds remaining.
Therefore, let me write up, Mr. President. I thank you for your this because this is very
distinguished senators. A few months ago, this Hollow Chamber celebrated the late Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. It was unanimous. On that occasion, I stood up and I spoke not just as a senator, I spoke as a secretary of Southwest Senators Caucus. And in fact, we regarded Ogbonnaya Onu as somebody from Southwest. There was no controversy. There will be other eminent Nigerians that were brought here. We celebrated them in less than 5 minutes. There was no controversy. Today, I speak as a senator representing the memory of M.K. Abiola. And that we are even discussing this, bring back the pain of the loss of an illustrious Nigerian from Ogun Central Senatorial District. To attempt to immortalize or honor anyone who was involved with the annulment of June 12th that led to the death of M.K. Abiola is to undermine the insufficient recognition that has been given to him. It is indeed to also set a very bad precedent and to also make it very clear. If Humphrey Nwosu were to come from Ogun Central, if indeed it was to come from Abeokuta, anyone who participated in the June 12th debacle, regardless of the part of the country, including Abeokuta, I will stand up to speak against such a person. And you also know that even people from Southwest who were accomplices in the June 12th saga, they will not be forgiven tomorrow. If any of them was brought here, I will speak against him. Therefore, this debate is unnecessary. This debate is trying to rewrite history, and we are sending to the people, to the younger people, that you can be celebrated if your courage failed you. You can be celebrated if you do common things uncommonly bad. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the very best you can do, maybe just 1 minute honor, but to attempt to do anything further would be to rubbish the memory of M.K. Abiola and to add insult to the injury.
Thank you.